Because let's face it, when you go on a cruise, I mean, you have buffet, you have ice cream, you have pizza, you have a deli, you have sushi. It's just food everywhere, 24/7.
I want to bring in a few.
So guys, let's get right into it. Today is, hold up, 12/28. So today is Sunday, 12/28. Okay? So last Saturday, well, first of all, let me do my thumbnail. Oops. 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 Okay, so my last video, I was in the process of getting, okay, let me back up. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Kim and I am your low carb queen. I am also on a weight loss journey. I'm on Mounjaro 12.5 and this is injection 49, okay? So let's dive right into the video. My last video, I was in the process of acquiring my next 4 doses of medication. They were out on Wednesday, I believe it was. And then they said check back Friday. I checked back Friday, they were out. And they called me later on and said, okay, we have it. So I sent my daughter to go pick it up. That's where we left off, all is well. Because we were leaving Saturday and I needed to take my injection with me before I left because we were leaving for Florida. So, you know, at my age, or maybe any age, I don't know, you should follow your first mind. My first mind was take the injection early, okay? You're not gonna be here. You're gonna have to carry this with you. Sunday, take it at a hotel. You're leaving early Saturday morning. Just take it before you leave. It's one day different. Did I do that? No. So after all the rigmarole and worry about whether or not I was going to take the injection, first of all, should I take it? Then, you know, I talked to my people as a GLP-1 community. Take it, take it, take it. Of course, take it. So I decided to go ahead and take it. Then they didn't have it. Then they had it. Like, you can't make this stuff up. And then once they had it, it was like I said, just go ahead and take it. But I didn't do that. So subsequently, when I get on the road Saturday, now we left, I don't know, our goal was to leave between 5 and 6. I think we left between 6 and 7. That's usually what happens in my family. But in any event, I get down the road too far to turn around and come back, of course, and said, I'll be gosh darn, I forgot to bring my injection. I am on the road, like I said, no injection. So then I started to think like, well, maybe I could call and get, you know, a temporary one. You know, maybe I could get one from Walgreens. They'll just give me one so I can take it, yada, yada, yada. I didn't do any of that, okay? And it was kind of twofold. Number one, 12.5 is still very strong. I still have side effects. I still feel tired. And number two, I was like, you can do this. You're going on a cruise. Yes, people eat a lot on a cruise. I mean, you know, food. But you should be able to control yourself for 1 week until you get back home. So I kind of wanted to experiment since I couldn't take it anyway. So I was either going to be ripping and running around in Florida trying to get an injection before we set sail on Monday, or I was just going to be like, okay, you just have to wait. So subsequently, that's what I did. I did not take the injection. I had to wait until I came back. We got back last night, and I'm going to take it today. I always take my injection most of the time in my thigh or my stomach, mostly my left or right thigh. I feel like my greatest suppression is in my right thigh, but I do take it, like I say, to switch off left thigh, right thigh. I've only taken it in my arm one time, and I didn't like that at all. For whatever reason, I don't like too much stuff close up here to my heart, so I wasn't comfortable with it. And when I initially started, I started taking it in my stomach, and I did feel suppression there. But my strongest suppression is definitely in my thighs. So I will be taking it today. But let me say this. I have felt so good. You know, that lethargic mask that sort of lies over you from this injection, from the feeling of fullness, it just stays there for me. It doesn't go away. It lightens up a couple of days after the injection, but of course it doesn't go away. So by me not taking it this past week, I have really been full of energy. I haven't been as hungry, and we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. How it was on the cruise. I will do a video of the food that I ate on the cruise. But yeah, it definitely was a different experience, and I really needed it. I needed this experience. I needed to be on the cruise. I needed to be able to see how differently I look at food since taking the GLP-1. That I needed. Because let's face it, when you go on a cruise, you have buffet, you have ice cream, you have pizza, you have a deli, you have sushi, you have seafood, a seafood bar or restaurant. You have other private restaurants that you can pay extra fees for. It's just food everywhere 24/7. And so I needed to see what was going to happen to me because, previously I've been excited, eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner, being stuffed to the brim, eating poop, eating poop, eating poop. You go to shows, you have a good time, but there's a lot of eating and pooping on cruises. But this time, it was different. Let me get ready to take my injection so that I don't forget. Yeah, I'm going to come right back. Okay, I'm back. Had a little pinch of blood, but all is well. So, if you watched my last video, you saw that I weighed in. It was actually 306.8. I kept saying 307. And my goal has been to get into the twos by the end of the year. Today is the 28th. And drum roll. Wait, hold that thought. Let's talk about the food. Let's talk about eating on a cruise ship. Now, did I deprive myself? Absolutely not. I really did not. The good news or bad news, depending on how you look at it, is this was not one of my favorite ships. I've been on here before, and once I got on it, it reminded me of why I didn't like it. It's a small ship, the Carnival Paradise. It leaves out of Tampa. We went to the Grand Cayman Islands, and we also went to Cozumel, Mexico. But the food was not good. Oh my gosh. And they had the nerve to have leftovers. I usually do not go to the buffet. I usually go to the dining room for breakfast and dinner or brunch and dinner. That's not really an issue, and then also everything that they usually have at the buffet, they also have at the dining room, with an exception of one or two items. I'm going to say either the food wasn't good, and I wasn't the only one who said the food wasn't good on this ship, or it just didn't hit me the same way that it normally hits me. My satisfaction for food and the gratification that I have previously felt, I did not have that. I really didn't. And so my desire to eat was limited. I also listened to my girl Toy, who said, eat 2 meals a day. Do not eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That was pretty easy for me to do. And then we started out eating at the late dinner, which was 8:15. But because we had anytime dining, we switched and, we went at like most of the time 7, around 7-ish. And so that was my cutoff for eating. So if I cut off eating at 7 and then didn't get up to make the dining room breakfast between, I don't know what it is, 6 and 9:30 or something like that, then I did not eat again until around 12, 1, 2 o'clock. And if I ate then, going to the cantina or Guys Burgers or something like that, pizza, I had a lot of pizza because the pizza was good. And they give it to you in 2 slice intervals. It's really thin, but it's delicious. So if I had pizza around 2 o'clock, I remember my last meal previously was around 7. So now I'm doing 7 to 7, which is 12, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. So that's 19. That's another 7 hours. That's 19 hours of not eating. When I ate that, ironically, I was pretty full. So by the time dinner rolled around again at 7, I wasn't, eating all of my dinner. It was mostly tasting. I did eat ice cream. I have pictures of what I ate, not everything, but mostly everything that I ate. And like I said, it just wasn't as appealing as it has been in the past. And anybody who knows anything about Carnival, you can get 2 entrees, 2 appetizers, 2 desserts. You can get as many as you want, but now they've put a cap that if you get more than 2 at a time, you have to pay an extra $5 per additional entree. And normally I would get that, I think I got 2 entrees once where my daughter and I, we shared the third entree. I had an entree, she had an entree, and we shared the third one. I think we did that twice just to taste, whatever it was. I think we had Cornish hens one time and then chicken Parmesan, but didn't eat much of it. Like I said, the food was okay. It didn't have that appeal that it normally does. And then they were repurposing, AKA leftovers, okay? When I tell you they were repurposing that food, okay? They had braised beef, and then maybe like the next day at the buffet, they had like a beef brisket where they had chopped up that braised beef and added barbecue sauce to it and put it on, like I say, on the buffet. It just I wasn't feeling it. And I was kind of glad. The last day, probably Friday night, and then on the way back home is when I did a lot of snacking because I just wanted to get off the ship. It was rocking a lot. I was tired of the food. I was just ready to come home. I had a good time, had a great time with family. We had family from Philadelphia come. It was 8 of us all together. Family from Ohio. And so we had a ball, okay? Let me tell you that for sure. But as far as the food was concerned, it just wasn't what it used to be for me. And I have been cruising for a very long time. Let me do a thumbnail. Hold on. Okay, so I ate basically 2 meals a day. A couple of times I might have even eaten 1 meal with some snacks, When I say snacks, like I got a Guy burger, but I didn't eat the bread and I just ate like the outskirts of the meat. I didn't even eat the whole burger. Had a couple of tacos. Like they were being real strict. Carnival has changed a lot of its rules and that's another conversation, but they were absolutely being strict. Like they had chicken tacos, pork tacos, but if you wanted a burrito, you could get a shrimp burrito. So at first I wanted a shrimp taco, but my daughter was like, the lady that was in front of her wanted the same thing and they told her, no, you have to get in the other line. You can get a burrito, a shrimp burrito, but you cannot get a shrimp taco. So they were really sticking by the rules. Again, like I said, that's another conversation. And I know that's because, people, a lot of times when people go, they want like special orders, something that's, maybe not on the menu. Or like I said, I wanted a shrimp taco as opposed to a burrito. But so I ended up getting a bowl. I got a shrimp bowl because you could get a bowl or a burrito. So that's what I got. I just wasn't happy. I was over food, to be honest with you. So now let's get to the nitty gritty because I digress. I've been holding y'all long enough. I got on the scale Sunday because that's my weigh-in day today, this morning when I got home, okay? And I had braced myself. Now, I had braced myself because y'all know when I was sick, I lost about 10 pounds. I was just like, I had already prepared to gain a couple of those pounds back because I knew that, some of it was attributed to the fact that I wasn't feeling well. And that was okay. I was like, okay, once I start feeling well and eating again, I might gain, 2, 3, maybe 4, but that's it. I didn't want to, gain more than 4. So now that I'm on this ship and I haven't taken my medication and I have been eating, but I have been definitely watching what I eat and how much I eat, listening to my body saying, okay, that's enough. I mean, you really have to talk to yourself to say, it is good. It does taste good, but you've had enough. Don't overdo it. Don't walk away from this table feeling like, oh, I can't move. Just don't do that. And so that's what I practiced and purposed doing. Tomorrow's another day. You can eat something else tomorrow. Don't stuff yourself. Just don't leave yourself feeling that way. So I focused on that and it worked. So, of course, I get home and I weigh myself today. And drum roll, once again, I promise I'm not going to hold y'all. I lost 2.2 pounds. I do believe that the math is correct. I will show you. I got on the scale right here. Bing. Okay, so before I left, which now is over a week ago, I got on the scale and I was here. Bink. And now I'm here. I'm down because I was at 306.8. Now I'm at 304 point whatever it is. 0.6, I think it is. 304.6. I'll do the math, put it up here somewhere. I'm down 2.2 pounds. I'm 4.6 pounds away from my goal. And today is the 28th. So I have 3 days to get below 4-point-something pounds. Oh my gosh. I cannot believe it. Oh my gosh. I was so shocked when I got on that scale. I thought about losing to Grace because she went on, when she went on her cruise and she lost weight too. I was like, of course I got on it twice. I was like, are you serious? Because I had been talking to my daughter and she was like, you did not gain weight on that cruise, Mom. You were not eating like that. I was like, yeah, but I didn't have my injection. And so this made me feel good in so many ways. First of all, I know I'm all over the place. I had some non-scale victories. I had some clothes on that I could not previously wear. Toy, I took a couple of outfits that you gave me. So I was just like, I was in heaven. But then when I got on the scale and realized that I had lost 2.2 or 2.6, 2+ pounds, I was like, oh my gosh, this is really happening. I'm really going to see the 2s. I was so proud of myself. And this was, like I said, this was good for me in more than one way because y'all know, those of you who have been watching my videos, one of my goals is to take the injection every other week. Say what? And so I was like, okay, this is doable. This is really doable. because I skipped a week and I still lost. So that means that I had a level of discipline. Yes, I'm going to give myself some credit there. I had a level of discipline, and trust me, on some instances, it wasn't easy, but I did have a level of discipline. I did not clean my plate, maybe except for some ice cream, some sherbet, but I didn't clean my plate, y'all. You know, that's a norm that comes with being overweight, being taught to eat everything that's on your plate, being taught not to waste food. You know, that's a given. But I did not clean my plate. No, absolutely not. You know, tasted something. If I didn't like it, didn't eat it. You know, I had a crab cake. It was good, but I didn't eat the whole thing. And I love seafood. I just was determined not to walk away feeling stuffed to the brim. And I'm so proud of myself. Oh my gosh. Yes, down 2+ pounds. So that's what happened. I will, like I said, I have a video to show you what I ate in a day on the cruise. That'll be coming up next. So yeah, guys, so that's what happened. I'm excited to be back. I missed y'all. I came back, and the first thing I started doing after I thanked the Lord for letting me get home safely and everybody in my family back home safely, I started watching YouTube. I sure did. I started watching YouTube. So I'm glad to be home, and glad to be in the YouTube streets watching y'all videos. And yeah, I'll keep you posted. So that's what happened. I did not take the shot, and I lost 2 pounds. Low carb journey, low carb life with your low carb queen. And remember, every day is a new beginning. Bye-bye.
Strength and tone at your own pace. Get low, get low, get low, get low. On the carbs, on the carbs. Get high, get high, get high, get high. Take the protein to the sky. Low carb queen is here to say, do weight loss in your own way. Just watch the carbs that intake. Throw that processed food away. Yeah, yeah. Get low, get low, get low, get low. On the carbs, on the carbs. Get high, get high, get high, get high. Take the protein to the sky. Yeah, get low, 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 get